Donald Trump has released his guidance for a budget, and even though he lost in his fight to secure funding for his border wall and then had to declare a national emergency in order to get the funding he wanted, this latest budget proposal actually asks for even more money for the border wall. In fact, according to the Washington Post, when it comes to funding for the wall, he is asking for a total of $12.2 billion. Again, $12.2 billion. So Trump will request $8.6 billion in the annual budget proposal. He will also ask for $3.6 billion to replenish military construction funds he diverted to begin work on the wall by declaring a national emergency. So that's a lot of money. And this is all pretty unsurprising to me. Of course, he's gonna ask for more. There are some estimates that indicated that completing the border wall would cost upwards of $70 billion. So when he was asking for $5 billion, everyone knew that that was just a tiny, tiny chunk of the pie. Trump declared a national emergency, by the way, to justify raiding $3.6 billion from a military construction fund. He also diverted another $3.1 billion from counter-narcotics programs and an asset forfeiture fund.
So I think a lot of the stories are burying the lead on this one. So I wanna make sure that we're clear. He's gonna cut Medicare by $845 billion. Here's a guy who said he wouldn't cut Medicare. Here's a guy who said he would do universal health care coverage. Now, we knew that was a lie, but that's a massive, massive cut. That's nearly $1 trillion cut in Medicare. $1 trillion, that sounds familiar. Oh right, tax cuts for the rich, right. The original price tag was $1 trillion. It wound up being $2 trillion, joke's on us, and anyone who gets Medicare. He's also planning to cut Medicaid by $241 billion. So massive cuts to programs that American people love. And that's not me saying it as a pundit like everyone on TV does. That is based on polling. Nearly 80% of the American people are in favor of Medicare. Around 70% are in favor of Medicaid. When I say in favor, I mean they say there should be no cuts to it, okay? So he is going to go against the will of 60 to 80% of the country again, countless times. So the amount that he's asking for the wall is egregious. It's above and beyond, as Anna explained, but it's actually small compared to the massive cuts he's doing in these vital programs. And if you're a senior citizen and you're not gonna get your drugs and you're not gonna get health care, it's like, yeah, but I had to give it to the rich. I already gave them the tax cuts. So now, second part of that, is that he's going to increase in some areas that Ivanka Trump is in favor of. Well, that must be nice. But also defense. So
yeah, he's calling for a sizable increase in military spending and a significant cut in domestic programs, Medicare being one of them. So with Democrats in charge of the House, it's I don't want to say it's certain because you never know what could happen, but it's unlikely that he would get what he wants. Remember that this is a proposal, it's not as if he's already cutting these domestic programs. But if he were able to get his way, if Republicans still had control of the House, he could, in my opinion, very easily get what he wants here.
Yeah, so let me give you a little bit of context on the defense spending. So he's gonna try to increase it by 5% as he's slashing everything else. The things that'll be slashed, you're gonna be shocked to find out, Environmental Protection Agency. So your family will have dirtier air, dirtier water, more pollutants, more toxic things all over our environment. But hey, the defense contractors got rich, so it's worth it, right? Okay, if you say so. Transportation Department, State Department, Interior Department, all dramatically reduced. So the Defense Department will go up to $750 billion a year if Trump's proposal wins. Let's go to graphics 32 and 33 so I can show you context of how much we spend in defense, because it must be tiny, right? Because we got to catch up. No. As you can see there, we way outspend the rest of the world. That's the top 15 countries in military expenditures in 2016. But if you notice, the US is at 611 billion there. And now in this chart, it's for 2017, 610 billion. Trump's gonna increase that to $750 billion. That is way more than China, Russia, and all those other countries combined. We have no problems with defense. We outspend every other major weaponized country by a landslide. But defense contractors are huge donors to politicians. So people got to get greased. Corporations that got that giant tax cuts, huge donors to politicians. You getting Medicare, let alone the poor folks getting Medicaid, you are not huge donors to politicians. So they'll take it from you. They'll take it from your medicine, and they'll give it to the rich, to the corporations, and to the defense industry. So this is how you get robbed. On the go? Don't worry, we got you covered. You can still listen to TYT at our new podcast network. Find us on Apple Podcasts, the Google Play Store, or at tyt.com/podcast.